The Rise and Shine podcast series is made possible by the generous support of Bonnie Vozar of Chicago, Illinois.
There's no shortcut in parenting. You will be tired, physically and emotionally, and before you know it, they're grown and flown. So put in the full effort and know that you will never regret those years despite your exhaustion.
This is Rise and Shine, a podcast that offers timeless wisdom and uplifting meditations to fill your heart, feed your soul, and start your day on a positive note. Here is Adrienne Gold-Davis.
Some years ago, when I was trying to rebuild a more functioning and satisfying adult relationship with my mother, I was advised to ask her what she could tell me today that she wished she had known when she was my age. I'm not going to share what she said. It was personal and particular to her and I. But last week, I woke up remembering her advice and how it has permeated my decisions for the last 20 years. And I realized that I'm now the age she was when I originally asked her. And I froze for a moment. How could that be? Where did the years go? Well, fortunately for me, I still have a mother. She's elderly, but she's still vital. She still does Pilates and yoga 4 days a week. She still shops and cooks and lives like she's half her age. This after a couple of years of illness and treatment. And I asked myself, if on the off chance one of my sons asked me a similar question, what might I tell them? You see, my sons are men now. Are there things that I can teach them that are beyond age and gender, particularly about potentially becoming parents? Well, as God would have it, a friend dropped over the other day and hands me this notebook she bought me, and it's called, "It's Your Problem Now Because I'm Dead." Now, I looked at this, I thought, what is this? She said, you're meant to fill it out and you leave it for your kids when you die. You see, I told her recently that I don't have a will, and she told me how totally unfair it is to leave my kids in a position, should I, God forbid, pass away in an untimely way, to figure out what I would want. And yeah, she's correct. I need a will. I need to make burial arrangements. I need to list my bank accounts, my savings and investments and property, and what I want to do with my limited but very lovely jewelry. So this booklet has spots for all of this, but it got me thinking, what advice would I give today that I wish I had known at 33, 34? Maybe they're listening. So I'm going to give you a couple of things. This is by no means an exhaustive list. I might come back with another one of these, but let's start with this one. So the number one, the days are long, but the years are short. See, I'm a bit of a procrastinator. And what goes along with that trait is a proclivity for cutting corners, looking for an easy way through something. I once read an article by Rabbi Yankee Tober. He recounts this story from the Talmud. It goes like this. Rabbi Yeshua, the son of Kahanya, said, once a child got the better of me. I was traveling and I met with a child at a crossroads. I asked him, which way to the city? And he answered, this way is short and long, and this way is long and short. So I took the short and long way. I soon reached the city, but I found my approach was obstructed by gardens and orchards. So I retraced my steps and I said to the child, my son, did you not tell me that this is the short way? Answered the child, did I not tell you that it is also long? Also in life, there is a short but long way and a long but short way. How many times did I cut across a field only to find a fence I couldn't scale and have to go back to point zero and do it all again? You see, my beautiful friends, there are no shortcuts. Do it right the first time, or you're going to have to do it over and over until you get it right. And while as parents, we use that expression, the day is long, but the years are short. We use it to mean that parenting is exhausting on a day-to-day basis when your kids are small. And in the blink of an eye, those years are gone. But there's no shortcut in parenting either. You will be tired physically and emotionally. And before you know it, they're grown and flown. So put in the full effort and know that you will never regret those years despite your exhaustion. Now, the second one is actually related to the first. Choose legacy over self and take the long path view. See, when I was a young woman, I always prioritized immediate gratification. I was clearly emotionally very immature. I couldn't delay pleasure. I think I didn't really understand how short the years really are. So I would reason, if I'm not hurting someone, and if something feels good in the moment, what harm am I causing? You see, freedom to me meant freedom to do as I pleased, whenever I pleased. Anything that tried to restrict my freedom felt like an obstacle that I needed to push through on principle. And then I learned of a Talmudic story of Honi the circle drawer, who sees an old man planting a carob tree. You know what carob is? It's like that chocolate sort of flavored sort of seed nut. Anyway, it takes 70 years to bear fruit. And so when asked, why are you planting something that you're not going to live to enjoy? The man replies like this: just as my ancestors planted for me, I too are planting for my descendants. I learned that Judaism challenges us to move beyond immediate selfish gratification and to act as stewards for future generations, integrating a deep sense of the past with a forward-looking vision to build a better world for our children. You see, we're nation builders. Some of the decisions we're going to make are not going to feel good in the moment, but that does not mean they're the wrong decisions. There has to be an end goal that animates our souls. It attaches us to something beyond the narcissistic, self-serving decisions we make. But if we don't understand the speed with which the years pass, we are less interested in legacy and more focused only on today. And then we plant no seeds, and there will be nothing to reap, not for ourselves and not for our kids. And I think the third is also related to this. Don't expect that effort is commensurate with outcome. Often you'll plant those seeds and you won't live to see your desired outcome in your own life. So often people say to me, Adrienne, this person does everything right. They work hard, they love deeply, but they can't seem to catch a break. And another is unethical and selfish and self-absorbed and cuts corners around the law, and yet they seem to be making money hand over fist and they're successful. Or then they say, I've been doing everything I can. I plant and I tend and I water and I grow my efforts, and yet I see no growth whatsoever, and it's been years. And then I remind them of this famous story. It's called the Chinese bamboo, and it's a parable about patience and perseverance and invisible growth. You see, after planting the seed, the bamboo shows no visible growth for 4 whole years, despite being watered and nurtured. But in the 5th year, it grows 90 feet in just 6 weeks. It spent the first 4 years building this massive, deep root system that will sustain its rapid, explosive growth. But if at any juncture of those first 4 years we gave up, we stopped caring for the plant and nurturing it, watering it, we yanked it out in frustration and said, this is going back to the plant nursery, then we would miss out on the growth that was happening under the surface. You see, we have to believe that while there is always a time to cut our losses in life, when it comes to parenting your children, you must come to trust that all of your efforts are indeed creating an elaborate root system that will prepare them for the ultimate emotional growth spurt. And hopefully we'll live to see that day. But as it says in Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our fathers, according to Rabbi Tarfon, it's not incumbent on us to complete a task, nor are we at liberty to desist from beginning it. You see, humans are not expected to achieve total perfection of the world alone, but they can't use that impossibility as an excuse to do nothing. Our efforts matter. They create what I like to think of as our heavenly report cards. So this week, take some time to come up with your own words of wisdom from experience for your own children, even if it's just a way to clarify what you believe is worth knowing, or to reinforce or adjust your current behaviors accordingly. I certainly have many, many more I'd love to share, but for now, I'm going to begin with these 3 above. You see, the days are long, but the years are short. There are no shortcuts. Choose legacy over self. Take the long path approach, and don't confuse effort with outcome. Do what's right and leave the rest up to God. May we all taste the fruits of our labors.
Thanks for listening to Rise and Shine. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to Momentum Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Join Adrienne again next time for more timeless wisdom and uplifting meditations that fill your heart, feed your soul, and start your day on a positive note.
This podcast was made possible by the generous support of Bonnie Vozar of Chicago, Illinois. Spread the wisdom. Inspire Jewish individuals around the globe by supporting Momentum's podcasts. To sponsor, contact podcast@momentumunlimited.org. You're listening to a Momentum podcast. For unlimited inspiration, wisdom, and empowerment, visit momentumunlimited.org.